Here's a question that should bother you more than it does. Every Olympic athlete wants to win gold. Every job candidate wants to get hired. Every entrepreneur wants to build a successful company. They all have the same goal. So why do some people win and others don't? It is not the goal. It was never the goal. And once you see that, the way you approach literally everything in your life will shift. For most of our lives, we're taught one method for achieving things: set a goal, work toward it, hit it, feel good, set a new one, repeat. Goals for grades, goals for the gym, goals for the gym, goals for business, goals for relationships. But here is what nobody tells you. Your results have very little to do with the goals you set. They have almost everything to do with the systems you follow. What is the difference? Goals are about the results you want. Systems are about the process that produces them. A coach's goal is to win a championship. Their system is how they run practice, recruit players, and develop culture. Every single day, a musician's goal is to master a new piece. Their system is how often they practice, how they break down difficult passages, and how they absorb feedback. Now here is the question that flips everything. If you completely ignored your goal and just focused on your system, would you still get results? Almost always, yes. Think about a basketball game. The goal is obviously to win, to have the highest score at the end. But imagine a player who spent the entire game staring at the scoreboard instead of playing. That is absurd, right? The only way to actually win is to get better at the game itself. Every possession, every practice, every rep. Bill Walsh, 3-time Super Bowl champion, put it perfectly. The score takes care of itself. Focus on the system, the results follow, not the other way around. So are goals completely useless? Number goals are fine for pointing you in a direction. But here are 4 ways that goal obsession quietly destroys your progress. Problem 1, survivorship bias. We look at successful people and assume their goals caused their success. But every person who failed had the same goal. The British cycling team didn't win the Tour de France because they wanted it more than everyone else. They wanted it for years. What changed was their system, a relentless commitment to marginal gains. The goal was always there. The system is what made the difference. Problem 2, goals only create momentary change. You set a goal to clean your messy room. You clean it. Great. But if you never change the habits that made it messy in the first place, you are back to clutter within a month. You solve the symptom, not the cause. Fix your inputs and your outputs fix themselves. Problem 3, goals hold your happiness hostage. Once I lose the weight, I'll be happy. Once the business hits $1 million, I'll relax. Sound familiar? A goal's first mindset turns happiness into a destination that keeps moving. And worse, it creates an all-or-nothing trap. Either you hit the goal and feel worthy, or you miss it and feel like a failure. That is a brutal way to live. When you fall in love with the process instead. When the system itself becomes satisfying. You don't have to wait to feel good. You can feel good today, because the system is running. Problem 4, goals kill long-term momentum. Runners train for months, cross the finish line, and then stop. The goal is gone. So is the motivation. That is the yo-yo effect of goal setting. A burst of effort followed by a collapse back to baseline. Systems don't end. Systems just keep running, and that is exactly the point. Here is how I want you to think about this from now on. Goals are for deciding where you want to go. Systems are for actually getting there. True long-term thinking isn't about a destination. It is about a cycle. Endless refinement, continuous improvement, showing up and running the system, even when you can't see any results yet. Because it is not your goals that will determine where you end up. It is your commitment to the process. So here is what I want you to do right now, not tomorrow. Right now, take one goal you've been fixated on and ask yourself, what is the system behind it? What do I actually do on a daily or weekly basis that moves me toward that result? If you can't answer that clearly, you don't have a plan, you have a wish. Build the system. Show up for the system. Let the results take care of themselves. If this reframes something for you, leave a comment. I want to know what goal you are turning into a system, and share this with someone who has been chasing outcomes without changing the process. See you in the next one.